How you doing? Mr. Sinister is a guaranteed nerf. So you're probably thinking, I know his buff is good, but I don't think he's gonna get nerf. And that's probably not really seeing many Mr. Sinister gameplay lately, especially when it comes to incursion, is because when it comes to his signature ability, it's not working, I believe. So once his signature ability is working, he is guaranteed nerf. And I'm gonna title this video as guaranteed nerf, and hopefully they don't nerf him like they didn't nerf Onslaught. Is because they're probably just tired of me being right all the time. It's like we know he can't be right all the time, so we can't nerf Onslaught. So hopefully they don't nerf Mr. Sinister, but I feel like it's inevitable. And I just wish Kabam, they just do more testing. That's all. They need to do more testing when it comes to their champions, especially when it comes to their buff champions. What is this? So when it comes to Mr. Sinister, his signature ability is not working, and I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. Um, when it comes to Mr. Sinister, but if once his signature ability is working, imagine if Galen, when it comes to his damage burst, it was modified. Right now, when it comes to Galen, his damage burst is only base attack only. So when he inflicts a damage burst, I think the most as a 6-star rank 5 ascended is like 250,000, something like that. So it doesn't matter if you're running damage mastery, synergies, or boost, it's still going to be only 250,000. Imagine if it was modified, especially in incursion when it comes to Galen's damage burst. Dude, he would be the most important champion in incursion. I would definitely arguable when it comes to there's obviously Odin and Heimdall, but he's up there for sure. Like you would actually use Galen in incursion, not just for his free fight. You can make a case Galen, he's like, oh, he would be broken, if his damage was modified in incursion. Yeah, it's only going to zone 25, but he go past zone 25, not so much. Even if it was like 10 times, you know his damage burst modified, in incursion is only 2.5 million. And I've faced opponent with more than 5 million health in incursion if you go past zone 25. So yeah, but this, I think, when it comes to Mr. Sinister, it's even better than Galen if Galen's damage burst was modified. That's how good this buff is when it comes to Mr. Sinister. But I don't think it's gonna be that way. I think it's gonna be nerf guaranteed. So let's talk about his buff and and look at what and when it comes to his signature ability. When I made talked about his buff, and I said you know I said it was 30% when it comes to increasing his when he wins against the Cosmic Champion. I was just assuming it was from the old pre-buff, and they never mentioned it when it comes to the Mr. Sinister buff. As you could see here, 1270.24 at max sig if you win against Cosmic Champion. So here, as you can see here, 4,234. If you multiply by 30%, it'll be 1270.24. So before the buff, he increases base attack by 30% if he wins against Cosmic at max sig. Now, look at it now when it comes to buff. It's 1549.82. They actually increased it by at least 5%, so it's at least 35% if you win against Cosmic. I wouldn't even go as high as 38% if you win against Cosmic. That is just crazy. Okay, if you win against Cosmic, if you win 3 times against Cosmic, he would increase his attack by more than double, and that's from his base attack only. Keep that in mind. So why is this so powerful? You've probably seen a lot of gameplay when it comes to Mr. Sinister and how much degen he can do, but that's without the Cosmic increasing his attack. Okay, so think about it. So here, let's talk about it. And also, he gains max of 3 of each passive randomly. So those could be, all 3 of them could be Cosmic as far as I know. So you can increase your attack even 3 times more just from having 3 random Cosmic uh, passive buffs. That is crazy. Okay, let's talk about his degen, how powerful it is. Okay, without the signature ability alone. Okay, so when it comes to signature ability, it says 4649.4. That's for one degen. He can inflict 10 of them, up to 10 degen on the opponent. Okay, up to 10, and that's not including the other debuffs that's inflicted on you. That's like liquid courage and double edge. That will make it 12. He can turn those two into degen, so it could be up to 12 and more, but let's just say 10, you know, just from charging a heavy attack. As you can see here, when he charges a heavy attack for 7 seconds, he gains 10 bleed debuffs in 7 seconds, and then they turn into degen. Okay, and doesn't work against robot, keep that in mind, but that's from his special one. It says 4649.4. This is based on a 6-star rank 5, not ascended. Okay, so if it was ascended, it would be more than 5,000 direct damage for one degen debuff. So let's just make the math easier, because it's like, and I'm not going to go over the math because it's going to confuse for a lot of people. Let's just say 5,000, okay? And then we can decrease the cosmic attack. So instead of 38% for winning against cosmic, we can just say it's 33.3 to make it a lot easier for the math. So 5,000 for each debuff. And that's and I'm not gonna go over the math. So let's just say that's let's just, I'm gonna skip the math. So let's just talk about it. So should I go over the math? Might not make sense to you if I don't go over the math, but then again, even if I do, I might even confuse you even more. So let's just not go over the math. So think about it. This is, he can inflict about 50,000 damage um um from a special attack. 50,000, okay? But this can be modified when it comes to the special one damage from the degen, and when you inflict 10 of them, and you can inflict more than 10 of them. Okay, so 50,000, and then you could, let's say you win 3 fights against cosmic, you can double that. That would be 100,000, and then you could also somehow get really lucky, you can gain another 3 cosmic um, passive buffs from the random ones. That's gonna increase it to another what is that, double that, so you can increase it by 200%. So what is it, 50,000? That would be, actually, yeah, that would be 150,000 damage from a special one. Okay, 150,000, not to mention, okay, this is the part where I'm going to skip the math because it's going to be really confusing for some. So 30% of that, okay, you're going to increase it by 30% if with the vicious passive, if you hold your heavy attack for another second. Okay, 30 seconds, so you increase your attack by another 30%. Okay, then you could also run damage mastery, which increase your attack by another 60%. And then with Apocalypse Synergy, you can increase your attack by 50% when it comes to the degen. So when it comes to the degen, you're from just one special one, you could do at least 200,000 to up to over 300,000 damage from the degen from the special one. Okay, and this is a rank 5, not ascended 6-star. Okay, and I'm not including boost or class advantage either. That's not included. And I only said 10. He can put more than 10 degens on the opponent if they inflict damaging debuff on you, except robots. Keep that in mind. So it's anywhere from 200 to 300,000 degen, and then that's just from Apocalypse Synergy alone. And then there's other synergies. I saw a guy made a video, I forgot the name of the title or his channel, but he said like his special one could do like 500,000, and that's without his signature ability. So because when you hold heavy attack, it pauses the debuff, so you can even double the degen. So you can look at anywhere from like 400 to 600,000 damage from one special one attack, and that's only with like you know, just by holding heavy and with synergies. That is just so crazy. That's just the degen alone. And keep in mind, you know, let's talk about his signature ability. Like he can wins 3 fights against Cosmic. That's another 90%. Okay, okay, 90%. And then you could have with synergies, you can become 100%, 50% from being a horseman special attack bonus, another 100% from Professor X energy since he's a mutant, plus another, 60% for what is this? From Max Recall. So that's like an extra 300 special attack bonus. Okay, and then not to mention he can gain all three of his random passive to be a mutant, so that could be like 390% special attack. That's almost like your your special attack is almost like if it was power shield node. That's how strong a special attack can do. So let's just say conservatively plus 300% special attack bonus. That is crazy. So if you're against a robot, you can inflict like throw the special two. You're gonna do like minimum 100,000 to 200,000 with a 6-star rank 5, and then ascended it's gonna be even more than that. Okay, and this guy could be a 7-star in the future. I doubt it unless he gets nerfed. So that's how powerful this buff is. I didn't even talk about his regen. Dude, think about his regen. Like once he wins 3 fights against a science champion, that's 60% regeneration rate. And I told you, I know for sure when it comes to regeneration rate, it's not even working. So plus 60% regen potency, and then you can also get random those passive ones as well, up to like 120% regen potency when it comes to the regen. That is crazy, dude. He's gonna be also, not to mention, I don't have it, I think, but when he crits, he gains, when opponent hits him and he crits, he gains 70% of that back, and with recovery mastery even more than 70%. So this guy is gonna be so tanky, and his damage is like the, I would say, once he wins 3 fights against mutant and 3 fights against cosmic champions, he's gonna have the highest attack in MCOC, and his tankiness is like Diablo level if he wins 3 fights against science. So I'm telling you, this buff is guaranteed nerf. I just don't know why Kabam doesn't not enough testing when it comes to their champions. So to make it simple, he's guaranteed nerf because right now his signature ability is not working. As I already mentioned, I talk about how powerful his degen is. It can be at the very minimum like 200,000 just from a special one, from a non-ascended 6-star rank 5. I mean, that's the very minimum. And it's gonna be like, it can be way more than that with synergies as well as holding heavy attack. So, and with apocalypse synergy as well. Oof, this guy's gonna be insane. But I'm assuming he will get nerfed once they fix his signature ability. Yeah, that's really it. I didn't even mention the critical rating. The more crits he has, the higher, the better chance he's gonna crit, the more damage, right? And I don't think his mystic combat rate is very important. So I didn't even mention that as well, but that's also could help him in some fights. So that's really it. As you can see here, let's just go. This is what you see in game right now, okay? Because Kabam, they didn't know how to fix it. They don't know what's going on with him. They just like, they put this and they, oh, maybe it's not here. I don't think it's here. I didn't write it. But when you see in game, it doesn't, yeah, right there. When it comes to special attack one, it says uh, converting them into degen debuff, dealing 0.9 direct damage over 6 seconds. That is completely a bug. I'm pretty sure that's not what they meant to say. I just don't understand why they didn't know this before they made the buff. I don't know if I mentioned it already. That's probably the con when it comes to not having CCP access to the buff concept before it comes live, because they don't do enough testing. As you can see here, it's completely bugged. You can see it doesn't even make sense what special attack one means, and I think that's why it's so powerful, and they didn't even realize how powerful his degen is gonna be. That's it. Thank you.